Hey guys, it's me, NRB12341 here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the new LEGO Harry Potter Hungarian Horntail Triwizard Challenge. This set has 265 pieces, has 4 minifigures, and retails for $40 in Canada, where it can be now found popping up at many retail stores. We'll start off by looking at the packaging, then the minifigures, and the set itself. So we'll start off by taking a look at the packaging. So the packaging is the new Harry Potter 2019 box with the golden logo instead of the silver logo, but it still has the same box art here up in the top right corner as last year's. That shows the 4 minifigures here, the set itself, a bunch of the specs like the set number, the pieces, and the title of the set. Up here you can just see the minifigures with various accessories. The bottom, there's nothing interesting. Same with the side and the other side. The back just has various product shots, and that's pretty much it for the packaging. So let's take a look at the we'll take a look at the minifigures first. So the first minifigure we get in the set is Harry himself, Harry Potter. But this year he is in a different he has different torso printing. It is the torso printing for the, of course, Triwizard tournament challenges. And honestly, I think it looks really good. The red and the black, you can see he's got the Hogwarts symbol there on the back. He's got torso printing that has Potter, his last name there. And he has a new, I believe it is a new hair piece. There is a back facial expression. And that's just him a little bit more aggravated. You can see he's got his scar printed there, obviously. Very nice face print, though. I like it a lot. He uses the mid-legs with no printing on them, unfortunately. But you could always, if you really want to, take the one from the minifigure series and just use his legs. You can see he does use a different hair piece than the one from the minifigure series. And this one doesn't work with the Cedric Diggory from the minifigure series as well as the one from the new Rise of Voldemort set. But it still works decently well. You can see he's got his new firebolt stick here with the leg rests. The only problem is it's a little bit loose. It's just a black broomstick with a little build on it. You can see he's got his wand, obviously, one of the new wand pieces. This one is in dark brown, as all of Harry Potter's wands are that he's come with so far. I do like how different he looks from the kid version that we got last year. They've definitely done a good job with it. So that's pretty much it for Harry Potter, though. Not much I could say. There's no printing on the arms, unfortunately, but there's not much they could have done anyway. So that's pretty much it for Harry. Let's move into some of the more interesting figures of the set. So here is Cedric Diggory. I always screw up his name. Now this is a different one than the one we got from the CMF series from last year, as I'll show right here, as I just showed him. The face print I think is much more accurate, as I didn't like this face print. It looks very odd. Of course, this isn't the same torso. It's the one where he's got the robes on. This is the one from the final challenge. Now, one thing I did notice is that he has got a lighter brown wand than him, who has a darker brown... Oh, there he goes. Darker brown wand, and that kind of bugs me a bit, but it's not a big deal. Now, the legs, they have robe printing on them, which I really like. I do, of course, like the hairpiece, as always. His alternate expression is pretty nice as well. Now, that's pretty much it to say about Cedric Diggory. There's not much else. He's got his name on the back, just like Harry's, except you can see his hood's a little bit lower than Harry's is. You can see it's a little bit different. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Cedric Diggory. Let's move into some of the more interesting minifigures of the set. Now this is one of, if not my favorite minifigure of the entire set, just because of his angry facial expression. This is Victor Crumb. Now, we haven't gotten a minifigure of him in a long time, but I really like the angry face and then the silly face. Now, I don't remember him making that kind of face in the movies, so I don't know why LEGO kind of did that. Now, you can see he uses Finn's hairpiece from the Star Wars line, and I think that works really well for his short hair in the movie. It looks really nice. People have used that. I've seen on, like, Wong and stuff, and it works for the short hair really nicely. Now you can see he uses Newt Scamander's acacia-looking wand from the CMF series. And then you can see just where it has plain black legs. But the torso printing is really nice looking. I really like the red and the brown. I can't remember the name of his school guys. I do wish they made for the ship that they made for him before for his school, which they arrived in the movie. Again, I'm sorry, I cannot remember it. I just can't. I'm sorry, guys. But Anyway, the name of his ship that he had, or the ship that he had in the movie, I really wish they made a new set of that, but I guess they had limitations. Anyway, it's nice that they included him here. That's pretty much it to say. There's not much other printing. I do wish they put Crumb on the back of his torso there, like they did for Diggory and then Potter as well. Actually, yeah, they did that for Diggory as well. The Diggory, and then also they did it for Potter, which I liked. I wish they did that for Crumb, but maybe it's a school thing. I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on to the last minifigure of the set. Now, this is the last minifigure of the set. This is Fleur Delacour. Now, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I can't remember. I also cannot remember the name of her school either, but I'm pretty sure it starts with a B. As you can see on her torso, there is on the back of her torso, at least there's a B, and I really like the design of that. That looks really nice. The navy blue and the tan, or the peach, I guess, the tan look really well together. I think they balance out pretty nicely. The torso printing, the front torso, looks really good, I think. You can see there's a bit of gold there on her actual torso. Her facial expressions, I like the smirk, and then the sort of scared-looking face. I think that works really well. Now, the light blonde ponytail hairpiece also works for her. I think that looks really nice. You can see she uses Dumbledore and Hermione's wand from last year. It's just the darker, lighter tan color for the wand piece. Now, I really like it. There's not much else to say. She also doesn't have light printing, which is unfortunate, but who knows why they didn't do that. Now, she also comes, she's not exclusive. This print is exclusive, but she comes in, of course, the carriage set as well, which I may or may not review on the channel. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, that's pretty much it to say for Fleur Delacour. Let's take a look at the actual set itself. So the first build of this set is actually, well, it's actually the last build you build, but the first one we're going to take a look at is the tan or beige tent. Now, the tent is in this tan color scheme, which I like. There's not too much detail around it, but it works pretty well for the scene. You can see it's got this nice little design here. The curvature is okay. I really wish they kind of covered this up, as these exposed studs are kind of annoying me. But there's a little bit of foliage on the side with a rock, and there's another rock over here. It is built on 2 green base plates, and it's a pretty relatively simple tent. Now, minifigures can't really walk in the tent because, as you can see when you open up, which it is connected on these 2 hinges, so you can open and close it pretty well. But this table is in the way, which is probably my first problem with the set, is that you can't have minifigures walk in the tent, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, maybe if you put it to the side, you could, but still. You can see there's 3 stickers on the walls there. There's one for each of the schools, including Hogwarts on its own little wall there. There is a small bed, it fits a minifigure barely. It's a little small. And they just kind of sit on there. Oh, and you can see how kind of fragile this tent is. It's very small. But you can see, you can close it up and they can be sleeping or whatever. It works very decently well, but you can see there's 2 cups here on a little table, a small little dresser, drawer, a few drawers here, and then a little potion, I guess, or it's a white gem on a little green cylinder or cone piece there. It's done in like a neon green. Now, it is a decent tent. It's a small little build. The only thing I have a problem with is not being able to have the minifigures walk in there and then these exposed studs, but besides that, it's pretty fine. It's a nice little build that they included, and it's kind of nice. They didn't need this. It kind of just drives the price up a bit, but it's fine. Now, moving on to probably my favorite part of the entire set. Now, I said my favorite part, but this really leads into my favorite part of the set, which you should know what it is. Anyway, this is just a little terrain build. It's got a few flames on it, and then it has this really nice golden egg piece. Now, I believe this egg piece was introduced. Here, let it focus. Let's see if it's going to focus here. Anyway, it was introduced in the Angry Birds line, and it's a really nice piece. It's just a metallic one. I believe it was in gold. You can see it's got this little peg piece there. Now, I haven't tested this out. We'll see if it'll work. I believe you can just kind of plug stuff with that peg hole into it. See how that looks? Yeah, you can. So you can put like a tiara on it or whatever. This is just the Ice Queen's tiara, so... Anyway, it looks pretty decent. You can see, just like I said, it's got a little terrain build. It's fine. It's a little stand for the golden egg. It just sits right on this little base plate here. But then it's attached to this giant chain here, this like light gray chain. And that brings me to my next part and my last part and my favorite part of this set. Now, this is the Hungarian Horntail itself. Now you can see the Hungarian Horntail is supposed to basically be chained up to this rock piece. You can see it just attaches to the bottom part of its neck right there, and that's not going to hold it whatsoever, but whatever, we'll say it does, it's fine. Get that out of the way for now. Now, looking at the Hungarian Horntail itself, I said it's my favorite part, and it's for different reasons, actually, why it's my favorite part than it being the Hungarian Horntail. Now, this set is, there we go, this is one of the problems I have with the set. Now, this set has its problems and has its pros, I guess, pros and cons. But the Hungarian Horntail is kind of a mix between the two. While it does not look like the Hungarian Horntail pretty much whatsoever, with the whole bird-like head of it, it does work for other reasons, which I will explain later. One problem I do have with it is these spikes that are on the back of its head there. It's just got these 4 spikes, and they're easily able to just fall off. They get in the way of this neck, and you can see if you try to lift its head, like kind of do what Smaug does with this kind of thing, get its head down like that, then the spikes are going to fly off, which is a problem, I think. Now, when I heard they were going to make this, I was really excited, thinking that it was going to be the Smaug mold done in the Hungarian Horntail colors. Now, the head, of course, would have had to be different than Smaug. It could not have worked. But anyway, we'll get to that more later. Now, the wings, they flap decently well. I really like the color of the wings. The brown and the sort of grayish white look really nice. It's not able to do its thing with the wings that go down. You have to kind of have them up for it to look good. For posability, it's on the small little neck thing, which is a ball joint, can lift all around. Works really well. The neck is on a ball joint, very limited posability. The jaw is on a hinge ratchet joint, but you'd have to remove this flame, which I'll get to later. The legs, the thighs are on these ratchet joints, really nice. They go in and out. You can see he's got toe posability, all these little pieces here. And then he's got this nice, of course, you had to have the horntail, spike tail. He's got all these different segments, which are all on ball joints, miniature ball joints, I should say. Now, it's really hard to move this because it's so fragilely just kind of slapped on there. It becomes really hard to move the little horntail piece. Now, the torso itself it's a really tiny little build, in my opinion. More on that later, like I keep saying, but now, the mouth, back to the mouth. It actually does have this little flame coming out of it, attached to this black thing for some reason. And it doesn't really work because you can't close the jaw whatsoever now. Of course you can't when there's fire coming out of it, but it's a tiny little baby flame. Now you can, like, pull it out, and then there is this little gray Jango Fett gun piece, as I call it. It is a pain to get that out, as you can see. It is pegged on to this little hole there. You can pull that out, or you could just pull the head off, which is just connected to a peg on a ball joint. And then you've got this wyvern-looking head. Now, that's why I like this thing, is because it's like a Lego wyvern. It's really cool, because it's a tiny little dragon. But it is not what it's supposed to represent. In terms of what it's supposed to represent, it fails completely at that, honestly. It's got the nice belly design I like. I like the colors of it. It looks good, but not as the Hungarian Horntail very much. A little bit, but not too much. I really wish they took Smaug, and I don't like the brick-built. I like the brick-built aesthetic, but if it was the Hungarian Horntail, I wanted it to be Smaug's mold done again, because that one, we all know how expensive Smaug is now, but Smaug's mold done again in the Hungarian Horntail colors. That way, the Smaug wings, as you know, they can fold. Actually, I'll go get that here. See, you can see the Smaug wing here would be perfect as they fold in and out, and they can have it's got no claws on it right now, but it can have the thing it has in the movie where it crawls with its little wing arm things. I think that would have been perfect for the Hungarian Horntail, but obviously LEGO wanted to make a smaller, cheaper set, and they made this, which is okay, but it's very fragile, and it's a tiny build overall, and doesn't represent the Hungarian Horntail very well. I really wanted it to be Smaug, because Smaug would have been the perfect mold to use for it. They could have redesigned the head of Smaug, could have done a lot of things with it, but they didn't, and they just went with this brick-built aesthetic, and this reused this head from last year with the beak. Now, this beak does work for it, I think. I really like that. That looks really good, and the print on it looks amazing. The dark colors and the torso looks great. That is out of place. That's not right. Anyway, it's a tiny torso. You can see the torso is really tiny, and the posability is very limited. It is very free, but it's very limited, because if I can't have the legs like this, that looks awkward. I have to have them out like this. Not too much, because that looks weird. Have it like that. I cannot do the thing with the Smaug neck where he's trying to attack Harry Potter or something. He has to do this. I kind of like lean into him. He can't do a scooping kind of thing. The talons, this back talon I noticed falls off quite a fair bit because it's not these pieces. I don't know why they use this piece, but they did. See, there goes the Horntail yet again. As I'm trying to show you it, it's just falling off. You can see it just attaches like that, which is, it's an unfortunate thing because I was so excited for it. Now, I do love the set. This set overall is really great, but as for the Hungarian Horntail itself, it's my favorite part out of the whole set, but it also kind of sucks for the Hungarian Horntail. I don't know why they also have these little spike pieces that are able to be very flimsy. It's odd. It's weird. The wings look great. It looks like a great wyvern or dragon build, but it doesn't look like the Hungarian Horntail. Hungarian Horntail's big, bulky, as people say. The Smaug mold would have been perfect. The wings, the torso, the tail, the legs, everything. The whole thing would have been perfect. Like, new prints on it, just the head and the neck. Even the neck could have been used, I guess. Maybe not have a huge neck. Or maybe redo the torso. I bet it would have upped the price a bit, but maybe that could have been the best thing about it. People would have probably bought it more. And a lot of people are just saying they want it to be bigger. I want it to be the Smaug mold. That would have been perfect. Anyway, I'm going to ramble on too much here. Let's get to the final thoughts on the set, and then that'll be the end of the review. So overall, guys, this set is an actually really good set and a must-have to pick up. The Hungarian Horntail itself, while being small, it is a great dragon to have, and this would be a great display set, I think. It's a great play set. But I believe that it could have been much better. For $40, I don't think it's worth it. 265 pieces for $40, that's a bit much, I think. Now, the minifigures are great, all new prints. Harry's got a new hairpiece, sorry. You get some pretty good pieces in the set. And you get the really good Hungarian Horntail dragon, or should I say just wyvern, or just miniature dragon build. But it's not the Hungarian Horntail. If you were looking for, I think the older one represented the body shape better. It sucked more because there was no posability, but that was a different time period entirely, so you can't really get mad at it. Anyway, the Smaug mold would have been perfect in my opinion, and I hope if LEGO does redo the set again down the line, they will not make the same mistake they did here. But I definitely recommend the set for $40. Not too bad, but it could have been better priced. Probably the next set we're going to be reviewing, if we do another Harry Potter set, will be probably Hagrid's Hut or the Clock Tower. Between the two of those, most likely, or even the Night Bus. It really varies here. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video or review. This has been NRB1234 here, signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.